Today, China has sharply criticized the United States at an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council over Washington's growing military presence near Venezuela. On December 24, 2025, China's Deputy Permanent Representative to the UN, Sun Lei, said the United States was using drug trafficking enforcement as a pretext to justify sending more forces into Caribbean waters off Venezuela's coast. He argued that these moves are escalating regional tensions and have triggered concern across Latin America and the wider international community. Sun Lei accused Washington of violating national sovereignty, undermining security, and breaching international law and the UN Charter. According to China's statement, these actions threaten peace and stability across Latin America and the Caribbean. He also stressed that Venezuela has the right, as a sovereign nation, to conduct its own foreign policy and defend its national interests. China repeated that it opposes unilateral sanctions, foreign interference, and the threats or use of force. Beijing called on the United States to stop its activities immediately, lift sanctions, and contribute to regional peace rather than confrontation. This echoes similar criticism from Russia and China, who recently described U.S. tactics as, quote, cowboy behavior and intimidation. So what triggered this latest dispute? The tension follows a series of U.S. tanker seizures near Venezuela. Most recently, on December 20th, 2025, U.S. forces boarded and seized a tanker allegedly carrying 1.8 million barrels of Venezuelan oil bound for China. Washington says these actions are part of an oil blockade targeting corruption and narcotics trafficking. Caracas, meanwhile, calls it international piracy and the greatest extortion in history. China protested the seizure as a serious violation of international law, warning it could undermine global maritime norms and encourage similar actions elsewhere. A third tanker was reportedly being pursued, and Venezuela has responded with laws criminalizing support for these sanctions and seizures. So why does this matter beyond Venezuela? China has been one of Venezuela's biggest lenders and oil partners for nearly 2 decades, with oil for loans deals worth tens of billions of dollars. If Beijing deepens its involvement through economic support, arms sales, or even joint military activities, analysts warn it could shift the balance of power in the region. That could mean stronger Venezuelan defenses with Chinese technology, more funding for Caracas despite U.S. pressure, and greater diplomatic backing from China, Russia, and parts of the global South, all of which could turn a regional dispute into a broader geopolitical contest. So could this really escalate toward a wider war? Experts say World War III remains unlikely, but the risk is real and growing. The most dangerous scenario would be a direct clash at sea, for example over a Chinese-linked tanker, triggering retaliation and drawing in allies. Add in oil supply shocks, cyber attacks, sanctions battles, and rising mistrust, and the fallout could extend far beyond the Caribbean. Still, diplomacy remains possible. Both sides know the costs of escalation are enormous, and global attention is now fixed firmly on how Washington, Beijing, and Caracas choose to act next. This story highlights a fragile moment in global power politics, where energy, sovereignty, and great power rivalry collide.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.